Have you ever stayed awake at night, replaying a conversation in your mind, thinking about what you should have said? Or have you ever stopped yourself from doing something because your mind was filled with 1,000 what-ifs? If yes, let me tell you a story that might just change the way you think, or rather, how much you think. Once upon a time, high in the Himalayan mountains, there lived a young monk named Arjun. He was wise beyond his years, kind, patient, humble. But Arjun had a problem. He was an overthinker. Every time he had to make a decision, even something simple like which path to take through the forest, he would freeze. What if I take the left path and there's a snake? What if I go right and I get lost? And even after making a choice, he'd replay it in his mind, over and over, wondering if he had chosen wrong. His thoughts were loud, his mind always busy. One day, his master noticed the stress in his eyes. He gently said, "Arjun, take the boat, row across the lake, find stillness in the water, and perhaps in your mind." Arjun obeyed. He rowed the small wooden boat into the middle of the lake. The air was crisp, the water still, like glass. He closed his eyes and began to meditate. But then, bam! Something crashed into his boat. Arjun's eyes snapped open. Another boat had slammed into his, bumping hard against the side. Instantly, anger rose in him. Who is this fool, he thought, who can't even steer properly? He stood up, ready to shout. But then, he saw the other boat. It was empty. No one was in it. Just an old wooden boat, broken free from its dock, drifting in the lake. Arjun sat down and laughed, because at that moment, he realized something powerful. His anger, his stress, his overthinking. It wasn't caused by the bump. It was caused by his interpretation of the bump, his assumptions, his mind telling stories that weren't true. That day, Arjun returned to the monastery, changed. He began to treat every obstacle in life as if it were an empty boat. He realized most of the things we worry about aren't real. What if they don't like me? What if I fail? What if I make a mistake? They're not facts. They're stories, just like the boat, drifting aimlessly. So the next time you catch yourself overthinking, remember Arjun and the empty boat. Take a breath. Let the thought drift by. Not every bump is a disaster. Not every thought deserves your attention. Sometimes, the best way to find peace is to simply whisper to yourself, "It's just an empty boat.